My child, listen to me with your full heart now. What I am about to share is not meant to disturb your peace, but to protect it. There are moments when the unseen world moves silently, not to create fear, but to shift destiny. Something serious happened recently, not in the physical sense that the world understands, but in a deeper realm where intentions are formed and decisions are sealed. This was not chaos. This was not rage. This was not madness. This was purpose. There was a place where light barely entered. Not because it was evil, but because it was private. Still. Quiet. A space where no unnecessary sound existed. In that space stood a figure, unmoving, not restless, not confused. Calm in a way that makes the atmosphere heavy. Calm that comes only when a conclusion has already been reached. And in that moment, something very important was held, not casually, not accidentally, but with intention. The image in his hands was not just paper. It was not just memory. It was a symbol. A marker. A point of focus. And that image was of you. Not because you were in danger. Not because harm was intended. But because your life has reached a moment where intervention was required. You must understand something very clearly, my child. Not every intense moment is negative. Not every serious act is destructive. Some actions look frightening only because you do not yet know what they are meant to remove. Sometimes heaven allows you to sense the weight of a moment so that you recognize the importance of what is changing. This figure did not shout. He did not curse. He did not rage. His voice was low, controlled, steady. And when he spoke, the words were not filled with hatred, but authority. Authority does not need volume. Authority does not rush. Authority speaks once, and the unseen responds. The words spoken were not against your life. They were not against your future. They were not against your body or your name. They were directed at something that has been quietly harming you for a long time. Something invisible. Something internal. Something that followed you even when you tried to move forward. You have been carrying things no one else could see. Fighting thoughts you never spoke out loud. Managing pressure that others assumed you were handling easily. You became skilled at surviving, even when you were tired of surviving. You kept going, not because it was easy, but because you had no choice. And heaven watched every moment of that. The declaration made in that room was not an act of violence. It was an act of removal. A decision that what has been draining you no longer has permission to stay. A decision that the cycle ends here. Timing matters, my child. Not because of fear, but because of alignment. Certain days carry meaning not because humans assign it, but because heaven uses them as markers. Christmas is not only a celebration of birth, it is a reminder that light enters darkness quietly, without announcement, without force. And this year, something inside you is being reborn. This is not about loss. This is about release. Release from fear that has followed you longer than you realize. Release from doubt that questioned your worth. Release from heaviness that made simple progress feel exhausting. You may have thought you were losing strength, but you were actually being prepared for freedom. You may have thought you were delayed, but you were being protected from moving into something too early. Silence does not always mean absence. Often, it means alignment. The help sent toward you is not random. It is precise. Assigned. Purposeful. And it comes not to scare you, but to clear what you could not clear on your own. Some burdens cannot be reasoned away. Some chains do not break through effort alone. You were never weak for feeling overwhelmed. You were human. You were never failing for needing rest. You were carrying more than most. And you were never forgotten, even when it felt like nothing was changing. Something is already shifting inside you. You may not have words for it yet, but you can sense it. A slight release. A quiet relief. A feeling that something heavy is loosening its grip. That is not imagination. That is movement. The thoughts that once attacked you at night will lose their strength. The fear that once followed you will lose its authority. The doubt that questioned your ability will slowly fade. Peace does not arrive loudly. It settles in quietly. You are not stepping into confusion. You are stepping into clarity. You are not being tested to break you. You are being refined to strengthen you. What felt like pressure was preparation. Your story is not ending. It is shifting direction. The chapter is turning. And what comes next carries light, not heaviness. Opportunity, not loss. Alignment, not struggle. You have given without being seen. You have supported others while neglecting yourself. You have waited longer than you should have had to. And now waiting is turning into movement. The season ahead will not demand you to prove yourself. It will reveal who you already are. You will be trusted where you were once doubted. Chosen where you were once overlooked. Rest is returning to your mind. Stability is returning to your emotions. Focus is returning to your vision. Direction is returning to your path. This is not emotional hype. This is spiritual order. This is not coincidence. This is timing. This is reassurance, not manipulation. You are safe. You are guided. You are protected. And you are not late. Everything is unfolding in a way that secures your future. Breathe now. Release the tension you have been holding. Stop expecting impact. There is no attack coming. There is a breakthrough approaching. Let this season meet you open, not guarded. Expectant, not anxious. Ready, not afraid. You are not alone. You never were. And soon, you will understand why everything had to unfold the way it did. The shift that has begun inside you is not loud, but it is real. Many changes start quietly because they are meant to last. Loud changes often fade quickly, but silent transformations go deep. What you are experiencing now is not a moment, it is a process. A process where old weight is being removed layer by layer so that you can stand without strain. You have been living in a state of inner alert for a long time. Even on good days, your mind stayed tense. Even during calm moments, your heart stayed guarded. You learned to expect disappointment, to brace yourself, to prepare for loss even before joy arrived. That was not weakness. That was survival. But survival is not your final destination. What was declared in the unseen was a decision that you will no longer have to live in defense mode. The constant need to protect yourself emotionally is being lifted. The habit of expecting the worst is being broken. You are not losing awareness, you are gaining peace. There are things you blamed yourself for that were never your fault. Delays you thought were caused by your mistakes were actually caused by protection. Missed opportunities were not punishments, they were redirections. And relationships that ended were not losses, they were removals. You did not imagine the resistance you faced. You were not exaggerating the heaviness. Something really was pushing against your progress. Something really was feeding on your energy. And now that access is being cut off. This is why the shift feels emotional. Release often feels like sadness before it feels like relief. Letting go of weight you carried for years can feel strange because you became used to the burden. But just because something is familiar does not mean it is meant to stay. You are entering a phase where clarity replaces confusion. Where decisions feel lighter. Where your mind does not argue with itself as much. Where your heart feels calmer even when circumstances are not perfect. You will notice that certain triggers no longer affect you the same way. Words that once hurt deeply will lose their power. Situations that once drained you will feel manageable. This is not numbness. This is strength returning. Your confidence will not return as noise or ego. It will return as quiet assurance. As the ability to stand firm without proving anything. As the freedom to say no without guilt. As the courage to choose yourself without apology. For a long time, you have been giving more than you received. Emotionally. Mentally. Spiritually. You poured into people, situations, and responsibilities without refilling yourself. And because you were strong, no one noticed how empty you were becoming. Now restoration is beginning from the inside out. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. But steadily. Day by day, breath by breath. Do not rush this season. Healing does not need speed. Alignment does not need force. Trust the pace. Trust the timing. Trust what is unfolding. There will be moments where you question whether anything is really changing. That is normal. Transformation does not always announce itself. Sometimes it only becomes obvious when you look back and realize how far you have come. You are being prepared for a version of your life that requires clarity, not confusion. Stability, not chaos. Strength, not exhaustion. The next season of your life will demand focus, and focus cannot coexist with constant inner noise. That is why the noise is being quieted now. You are not being isolated. You are being protected from distraction. You are not being delayed. You are being positioned. You are not being forgotten. You are being refined. There are doors ahead that require emotional maturity. Opportunities that require inner stability. Relationships that require self-respect. And you are being shaped to walk into them without fear. This process will also reveal truth. About people. About patterns. About yourself. You will begin to see clearly who adds peace to your life and who only adds pressure. You will no longer confuse familiarity with safety. Your boundaries will become stronger, not harder. Clearer, not colder. You will stop over-explaining. Stop justifying your needs. Stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. This does not make you selfish. It makes you healthy. The version of you that is emerging knows their worth without shouting it. Knows their direction without defending it. Knows when to walk away without anger. You will feel more present. More grounded. Less reactive. And that is power. There is a reason this is happening now. Not later. Not earlier. Now. Because the next chapter of your life cannot be built on the same inner foundation as the last one. What worked for survival will not work for expansion. You are being prepared to receive without guilt. To succeed without self-sabotage. To be seen without fear. To grow without losing yourself. This is why old fears are surfacing briefly. Not to stay, but to be released. When something is leaving, it often makes one last noise. Let it go. You do not need to fight what is already losing its grip. Your future does not require you to carry your past wounds as proof of strength. Your endurance has already been proven. Your resilience is already established. Now it is time for ease to meet effort. For grace to meet discipline. For peace to meet purpose. You will begin to feel more hopeful without forcing it. More motivated without pressure. More confident without comparison. Comparison has stolen enough of your joy. Measuring your journey against others has drained your energy. That habit is breaking now. Your path is not delayed. It is specific. There are things you will achieve that others cannot because of what you have survived. There are insights you carry because of what you endured. There is wisdom in you that cannot be taught, only lived. This season will not erase your past. It will redeem it. Nothing you went through was wasted. Nothing you felt was meaningless. Nothing you survived was for nothing. You are stronger than you realize, calmer than you think, and closer than you know. And this is only the beginning of the unfolding. The process continues quietly, but its effect will become undeniable. You may not wake up one morning and feel completely different, but you will notice small changes that matter. You will pause before reacting. You will think before doubting yourself. You will breathe instead of panicking. These are signs of strength returning, not weakness fading. For a long time, your emotions have been on high alert. Your mind learned to scan for danger even in safe moments. Peace felt unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable. That is what prolonged pressure does. It trains you to survive instead of live. But survival mode is being switched off now. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to slow down without fear of falling behind. You are allowed to enjoy good moments without waiting for something bad to follow. Joy does not need to be earned through suffering anymore. There were nights when you felt alone even in a room full of people. Times when you wanted to speak but chose silence because you did not want to burden anyone. Moments when you carried questions that had no answers. Those moments shaped you, but they will not define your future. The heaviness you felt was not a sign of failure. It was a sign that you were carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. And now that weight is being lifted, piece by piece. You will begin to trust yourself again. Not blindly, but confidently. You will trust your instincts, your decisions, your timing. Self-doubt will no longer sit at the center of every choice you make. This is important because the season ahead will require you to move with certainty. Opportunities will come that need quick decisions. Conversations will arise that require clarity. Paths will open that require courage. And you are being prepared for that now. Do not be surprised if people from your past try to reappear. Not all of them will stay, but some will test whether you have truly changed. You do not need to prove anything. Your peace will speak for you. You will also notice that certain desires are fading. Things you once chased will no longer excite you. Goals that were shaped by pressure or comparison will lose their appeal. This is alignment, not loss. Your vision is becoming clearer. What you want now is deeper, more meaningful, more stable. You are no longer interested in temporary validation. You want substance. You want peace. You want growth that lasts. This shift may feel lonely at times, but it is not isolation. It is separation from what no longer matches who you are becoming. Not everyone can follow you into the next phase, and that is okay. You are not being punished by distance. You are being protected by it. There were patterns in your life that kept repeating because you had not yet outgrown them. Now you are. And when you outgrow something, it must fall away. You are not too sensitive. You are aware. You are not weak for needing reassurance. You are human. And you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The future you are walking into will not demand you to abandon who you are. It will honor your authenticity. You will not have to perform. You will not have to pretend. You will not have to hide your struggles to be accepted. Your voice will become stronger. Not louder, but steadier. You will say what you mean without fear of rejection. You will stand your ground without anger. This is growth. There will be moments when you look back and feel emotional. Not because you miss the pain, but because you realize how much you survived. Let those moments remind you of your strength, not pull you backward. Forgiveness will become easier, not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means choosing not to carry the weight anymore. Your mind is learning a new rhythm. One that allows rest without anxiety. Focus without obsession. Effort without exhaustion. This does not mean challenges will disappear. It means challenges will no longer control you. You will still face uncertainty, but it will not paralyze you. You will still face decisions, but they will not overwhelm you. You will still face growth, but it will not scare you. You are becoming grounded. There is also a creative side of you that has been quiet for too long. Ideas you pushed aside. Dreams you paused. Talents you neglected. Those will begin to resurface gently. Do not rush them. Let them return naturally. Creativity thrives in safety, not pressure. You are allowed to dream again without fearing disappointment. Hope is not dangerous. It is necessary. You are also learning discernment. The ability to sense what aligns with you and what does not. This will save you time, energy, and emotional pain. You will stop forcing connections. Stop explaining yourself to people who do not listen. Stop trying to be understood by those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your circle may become smaller, but it will become safer. This season is about quality, not quantity. Depth, not noise. Truth, not appearance. You will begin to experience moments of peace that feel unfamiliar at first. Moments where nothing is wrong. Let yourself enjoy them. You do not need to stay alert anymore. The part of you that was always waiting for something to go wrong is learning to rest. This is healing. And healing does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like choosing calm. Sometimes it looks like saying no. Sometimes it looks like taking a break without explaining why. You are not lazy. You are recovering. The strength you are rebuilding now will support the success that is coming. Success without inner stability becomes pressure. But success with peace becomes fulfillment. You are being prepared for fulfillment, not just achievement. The journey ahead will require trust. Not blind trust, but grounded trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your timing. Trust in what you have already overcome. There is nothing missing in you. Nothing broken. Nothing delayed beyond repair. Everything is aligning. And this process is still unfolding. The calm that is settling over you now is not temporary. It is not a pause before another storm. It is the foundation being laid for the life you are stepping into. For so long, instability felt normal to you. Struggle felt familiar. Peace felt suspicious. But now your inner world is learning a new language, the language of steadiness, trust, and quiet confidence. You are beginning to understand that not every problem needs an immediate reaction. Not every emotion needs to be explained. Not every silence needs to be filled. There is power in discernment, and you are growing into it naturally. The pressure you once felt to prove yourself is fading. You no longer feel the need to explain your worth, your intentions, or your journey. You are realizing that people who are meant to understand you will do so without forcing you to shrink or perform. Those who do not are simply not meant to walk with you into what comes next. Your heart has carried pain with dignity. Even when you were hurting, you tried to remain kind. Even when you felt disappointed, you chose patience. That kindness was never weakness. It was strength under pressure. And now, that strength is being rewarded with clarity. You are entering a season where your efforts will finally feel meaningful. Where what you give will come back to you in healthier ways. Where your energy will no longer be drained by constant emotional labor. The fear of repeating old cycles is losing its hold on you. You are not the same person who walked through those seasons. You have learned. You have grown. You have changed. And because of that, your outcomes will change too. You will no longer settle for half-truths, half-efforts, or half-connections. You know what full alignment feels like now, and you will not trade it for comfort or familiarity. The path ahead may not be perfect, but it will be honest. You will know when something is right because it will bring peace, not anxiety. You will know when something is wrong because it will demand you to abandon yourself. Trust that awareness. It has been earned. There will be days when you still feel tired. Healing does not erase fatigue overnight. But even on those days, you will notice that you recover faster. You do not spiral the way you used to. You do not lose yourself the way you once did. That is growth. You are learning to meet yourself with compassion instead of criticism. To rest without calling it failure. To pause without feeling guilty. These are signs of emotional maturity, not weakness. Your future will benefit from this version of you. The version that knows when to push and when to stop. When to speak and when to stay silent. When to hold on and when to let go. You will attract opportunities that match your inner stability. Relationships that respect your boundaries. Work that values your contribution. Environments that do not drain you. This is why the inner work mattered. This is why the struggle was not wasted. You are becoming someone who can handle what is coming without losing themselves. Do not be surprised if others notice the change before you fully do. They will sense your calm. Your confidence. Your grounded presence. Some will be inspired by it. Others may feel uncomfortable because it reflects what they have not healed in themselves. That is not your responsibility to manage. You are allowed to grow without carrying everyone with you. You are allowed to choose peace over chaos. You are allowed to protect your energy without apology. There is nothing selfish about self-respect. The fear that once followed you is no longer leading you. It may try to whisper occasionally, but it no longer has authority. You have learned how to listen without obeying it. Your decisions will become clearer. Your reactions calmer. Your expectations healthier. This does not mean life will be perfect. It means life will be manageable. It means you will no longer feel like you are constantly catching up or falling behind. You are exactly where you need to be. As you move forward, remember this: you survived things that were meant to break you. You carried weight that was never meant to be permanent. You stayed kind in situations that tried to harden you. That matters. Your journey has depth. Your story has meaning. Your presence carries value. The season ahead is not about proving anything. It is about living in alignment with who you have become. Let go of the version of you that only knew how to endure. Welcome the version of you that knows how to live. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are not behind. You are ready. If this message spoke to your heart, take a moment to acknowledge it. Support this channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing so this message can reach others who need it. If you feel guided to support further, super thanks of $30 helps keep these messages flowing. Your support truly matters. Peace is with you now.